Hi, it's Lisa, and today I'm going to be making a Chubby Hubby cookie bar. And there's a lot of ingredients, as you can see, but it sounds like it's going to be really good because it has peanut butter and chocolate and caramel and pretzels and lots of sugar, so it can't be bad, right? So these are the ingredients that we need. We have 2.5 cups of flour, a cup of butter, which is 2 sticks at room temperature, 2 cups of chopped Reese's, and I actually used the eggs and just cut it up, but you can use any and just kind of chop them up so that they're in coarse pieces like that. A 14-ounce bag of caramels. I used the Kraft caramels, but that was only 11 ounces, so I included some of the Werther's caramels as well. 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Now, I actually did 1 cup of semi-sweet, and it is currently right after Easter. I know you're probably watching this at different times of the year, but it is Easter last week. And I had a milk chocolate bunny that I actually just cut up. So it's 1 cup of milk chocolate and 1 cup of semi-sweet for me, but the original recipe does call for 2 cups of semi-sweet. 1.5 cups of chopped pretzels, 1/2 cup of white sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar, 2 eggs, 1/2 cup of milk, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Lots of ingredients. The first thing we're going to do is beat together the butter with the brown sugar and the white sugar. So both sugars are going to be mixed in with the butter, and you just want to beat it until it's light and fluffy. The butter and sugar is mixed together, and the next step is to add in the 2 eggs, which I did already open and kind of mix a little bit to begin with, and also the vanilla. We are now going to include the baking soda, the salt, and all the flour, and just mix it until it's combined. Now we're going to add in the Reese's and the pretzels, and just mix it so that it's all combined in here. Don't want to over mix it, but you do want to get it mixed in thoroughly through the batter. All of the ingredients have been mixed together, and now this is where I'm going to do it a little bit differently than what the recipe suggests. What you're supposed to do with the recipe is put all of this batter in the bottom of a 9x13 pan that has been sprayed with cooking spray. Cook it for 25 minutes at 350 degrees, then let it cool completely. And then you would melt the caramel across the top and also melt the chocolate across the top, and then just let it cool and cut it into bars. I'm going to try it more like the Carmelita cookie bar that I've made. The reason is because I feel that when you put the caramel and the chocolate on top of a cookie bar, usually when you cut it, the caramel and the chocolate fall off the cookie bar. It doesn't stay all together as one. So what I'm going to try is I'm going to put half of the batter in the bottom, bake it for maybe 5 or 6 minutes just to let it set. Then I'm going to melt the caramel and the chocolate on top, and then sprinkle the rest of the cookie batter here across the top. So it's holding the chocolate and the caramel in the middle. So I don't know how it's going to work out. I'm hoping it works out well and it tastes good, but that's what I'm going to try. If it doesn't work, we'll know where my mistake was. Half of the dough has been placed in the bottom of the 9x13 pan, and remember, it has been sprayed with cooking spray. It's going to go in the oven at 350 degrees. I'm going to try for about 6 minutes or so. I really don't have a recipe to follow on this, so I'm going to see what it looks like after 6 minutes. But remember, if you want to use the original recipe, this is where you would put all of the dough in the bottom and cook it for 25 minutes at 350 degrees. While the cookie is baking, you can get the caramel ready. So all you're going to do is add the milk to the caramel, and you're going to melt it. I'm going to put it in the microwave. Usually takes about 3 to 4 minutes to completely melt, but I do it for 1 minute. I take it out and stir it and check it and keep doing it for about a minute each time until it's melted completely. The caramel is melted. It took about 4 minutes, and you can see that it's all completely melted. I let the bottom cook for 8 minutes. It's still looking kind of raw, but I don't want it to go too long because I'm afraid that the bottom's going to overcook and the top won't cook enough. So I did take it out. We're going to see what happens. The first step is to sprinkle the 2 cups of chocolate over the entire cookie base. Next, I'm going to pour the caramel over the chocolate layer. The last step is I'm going to take the rest of the original cookie batter and just kind of put it across the top, try to cover up as much as I can. Now I'm going to put this back in the oven. I'm going to go for about 20 minutes or so. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I don't know how long it's going to take since I did change the recipe up a little bit, but I'm going to just look for it to start to get brown on the edges. So I'm thinking about 20 minutes, but I will let you know how long it takes. I just removed them from the oven. I did cook them for exactly 20 minutes. The top is nice and brown. It looks completely done, but it is going to sit for a long time. Just like the Carmelitas, the inside is so soft and hot that it's impossible to cut through without making a complete mess. So I am going to let them sit for the day. We'll try them later on tonight, and if they're anything like the Carmelitas, they'll probably taste better the next day anyway. I decided to drizzle some chocolate across the top just so that it didn't look so plain. The bars have cooled for a few hours. I actually put them in the refrigerator for a while, and I cut them up, and they are really good. You can see that the caramel is still nice and soft, which is what I really like about it. It's still gooey, and it does have a very strong peanut butter taste. I would say you really can taste the caramel, the peanut butter, and the chocolate. The pretzels kind of get lost in the mix. I wouldn't say to eliminate them. Sometimes you do get a little crunch from them, but out of everything, that's probably what you taste the least. But they are very good, and Sean is going to do a taste test as well. Right now, he hasn't tried them yet.
That's right.
So, his is really gooey.
And there's a giant pretzel right there.
Okay, so then you should taste the pretzel.
All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is really good. I like it.
What flavors do you taste?
I'm gonna go with what you said. I can taste the peanut butter. I know that there's Reese's in there, that's for sure. And the caramel is really strong. This is really good.
Do you like
Even though
it?
it's slightly messy.
It's very messy. Look at look at the caramel dripping off of it.
It's a little gooey.
Do you compare it to the Carmelita? Because I kind of kept that in mind when I was making this and putting the top on it. What do you think?
Well, I think you should ask questions before I stuff my mouth with food. I don't know. I think the way you did it was better. Because I think if it all cooked for 25 minutes, I don't think it would be this clean. Because if this top wasn't here, all of this would be all over the place. All the chocolate and the caramel would be all over the place.
Yeah, I think that I like the way that I did it. I think it might look a little prettier if you had a layer of chocolate across the top, but that's why I kind of drizzled some on top just to make it so it didn't look so boring. But if I were to make them again, I would do it the exact same way. I don't think I would leave the chocolate and the caramel on the top. I kind of like it smushed in the middle.
The only thing that's bad about the chocolate drizzle on the top is that it's all over your hands because you're eating this like a cookie.
Yeah, but
So,
it's the
I
same
guess-
thing if you did all chocolate on the top. That'd be even worse.
But this is really good. I think this is right up there with the Carmelita.
Yeah. We give it a thumbs up.
Do you think it'll make me a chubby hubby?
We'll see. I think it's going to take a lot of those to make you chubby.